Hey guys, got a fantastic guest today. Her name is Jenny Boateng, because she's got a name.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. So tell us, who are you? What do you do?
So, my name is Jenny Boateng. I am currently the Chief of Client Partnerships in my company, which means I'm responsible for the team that brings in new clients and new partners for the business. I am also a mother of 4 children. So my eldest son is 8 and my youngest is 1. So I'm very, very busy. I'm a football mum as well. That needs to be highlighted because it is a big role. Also, my husband leads a church and I co-lead that with him as well. And yeah, there's many other things that I can also add to the list, but those are my main roles at the moment.
Brilliant. So tell us, where did you grow up? Where did it all begin for you?
So I grew up in Peckham in southeast London. I was actually born in Edgware, North London, but I don't even recall being there. So as soon as I remember, it actually started in Warworth Road. So we moved to Elephant and Castle, Warworth Road area. And I'm one of 5. So my parents were immigrants from Ghana. We lived in literally a council flat with corridors and a couple of rooms. And yeah, I'm number 4. And so, yeah, it was really difficult time, I think, for my parents, because obviously a big family. My dad is very educated. And I think at the time as well, he was thinking, I want to go back to Ghana. This is not, I don't want to be here. He left Ghana because of the coup d'etat, with, yeah, a political coup d'etat that happened, and he was in the army. So he had left Ghana and come to the UK and found himself, I guess, in a situation which I'm sure he didn't foresee. So yeah, that's where it all began.
So how was school for you?
So I've always been quite studious, and I'm the 4th born, so I've always got older siblings to look up to. But when my sister, my eldest sister, was, I think she was in year 5 or year 6, my parents had planned that they wanted to go back to Ghana because the schools weren't great. And then someone on the school gate told my mum about assisted places and 11 plus. And at the time, my dad had traveled to Ghana actually. And so when my dad came back, I think she told him there's something called 11 plus. This could be a route to get into good schools in this country. And my dad, as he's an educator, was like, okay, great. Let me learn about this, what this 11 plus is. And so he kind of assessed my sister and realized she didn't know her times tables. And he was like, what are they been teaching you like in the school system? And my dad literally, he tutored my sister and she got full scholarships at all these private schools. And from there, she went to a school called Ardingly College, which was a boarding school. And the reason why my parents chose that option is because we lived in a tiny flat, 7 of us. And I think my parents felt that that would be the best option for her to have those opportunities. And so in my church at the time, I think loads of people were like, can you tutor my children? So my dad started a tutoring business.
Wow.
From tutoring like thousands of Ghanaians in the community, black people actually in South London. And so I kind of grew up having people be coming to my house for tutoring, and my dad just kind of, I was just amongst them when my time came, and I was probably like year 4. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I got a scholarship to go to a school called Christ Hospital, and that's kind of where my journey began. Before that, I went to a local comp school that probably required improvement in Peckham, and I was the first person to take a level 6 exam, for example, in SATs tests. Yeah,
what?
And then yeah,
the first.
I think I was the first. That was not something that happened in that type of school. But I took the exams, and I remember it was the only school my dad applied for, because at the time they'd stopped assisted places. Right. Because they changed government. Labour had come into power and they no longer did assisted places. And so Christ Hospital was the only private school that were doing like very strong bursary, like means tested. And so I applied to that school. I got into that school and I went to that school.
Fully paid?
Yeah, I think so.
Fees.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's 2 out of the 5 children got scholarships?
No, so sorry. My eldest went, my brother went to Kent College. My sister, she actually skipped year 6 to go to year 7 because it was the last year they're doing assisted places. My dad tutored her. She got a place. And so she went from year 5 to year 7 to take advantage of having assisted places.
And they knew that she wasn't of age? Like
yeah. They said she could take the exam because it's a private school. So she took the exam, she got assisted place, and she went. And then I'm number 4, I went as well. So yeah.
Wow.
So my dad, he didn't have money, but he gave us education and time. So my dad is one of the most intelligent people that I know. He was a pilot in Ghana. He was a flight lieutenant, really smart, went to one of the best schools in Ghana. And he realized that he had to obviously understand the system in this country. But he learnt literally what 11 plus, learnt the syllabus. So he built a classroom. When we moved to Peckham, he built a classroom, like a conservatory, where he used to run his tutoring business, understood the system, taught us all, and we all got into these schools. And that was the beginning of that journey of being a product of opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I always say that my dad was like my first teacher. Everything that I know, from fractions, everything I teach my son now, I remember my dad teaching me those things, even though I was in school. But my dad was literally our first teacher.
Wow. So what impact did that have when you was actually at Christ
Hospital?
Yeah.
So I think I understood the opportunity that I had. So the school that I went to, I lived in Peckham and barely been to the countryside at all. My school is in West Sussex. You wear a uniform that is from like Tudor times. You march every day to lunch. The Queen
You
comes.
said march?
March. So we have a marching band.
Can you show us? I'm joking.
But literally, if you Google Christ Hospital, you will be able to see everything. Marching band. The facilities are amazing. I never played sport before. In my primary school, sports day was plastic hockey sticks, and we didn't have that. It wasn't that type of environment that I was in. I went to Christ Hospital. During my time there, I went to South Africa on a hockey tour. I was part of the first team netball, getting player of the season every year. I was really sporty, but I didn't know that until I had the opportunity to play. Wow. And so I think I understood the opportunity that I had being there, which helped me to stay focused in a boarding school away from your parents. I knew the sacrifices that my parents had made for me to be there. And so I think I was focused, yeah.
And did you experience any racism at school?
No, so Christ Hospital is quite a unique school, actually. It's quite a unique private school because it's a foundation school, which means that most people who go there, well, it's changed a little bit now, but the ethos is that it's fully means tested. So most people are on scholarships or bursaries from Old Blues who had come to the school, done well, and had extra money to pay for children. And many people had come from low socioeconomic backgrounds as well. Wow. So it was a very diverse, even though the environment we were in was very upper class because of just the way the school was, but the people who were there were from all over the country, inner city, London. Wow. And so it was quite interesting because it was quite diverse. And that's probably why you could hear my South London accent still, because I was around people that were like me, even though there were people who paid full fees there, but a lot of people were there on means tested bursaries or scholarships. So there, no. But and similar school not too far down the road, my sister, she went to Ardingly College, and at the time, the sister above me, when she started in year 7, they hadn't seen black people. Some of them had not seen black people. So literally, she said that when she first went, people would be like, can we call you princess? We've never seen a black person before. And she's 2 years older than me. So this is a private school, not too far from Christ Hospital. But that was her experience, the one that skipped to year 5 to year 7. Yeah. But her personality, she was like, yeah, bow now. That's how she is. And I think growing up in Peckham, she had that. But for some people, that could have been, quite unsettling. But yeah, no. So I didn't, not at that school, no.
So you smashed your GCSEs, I assume?
Yeah. So yeah, I got 10 A stars.
Jeez.
And I did 10 subjects. And to be honest, even that I was like English. This is where I think the mindset comes in, because something like English, I'd never seen, end of year exam, never seen A in English before. German, I did not like German. And so because it's a boarding school, you had to call for your results. You don't go to school like day school. You call for the results. And I remember I called them, I was like, yeah, my results. She's like, you got 10 A stars. I was like, what? I said English. I said English, literature and language. She said, yes. I said German. I said, wow, this is the doing of the Lord. Because honestly, but yeah, I think I had just the mindset. I think it's probably my sports as well. I was a competitive person, quite a high achiever in just everything that I did. So I didn't have the mindset that, because I'm not good at English, then I'm just going to focus on my maths. I just was like, I'm doing it. I have to just do the best that I can. And I think I had that, that competitiveness.
Brilliant.
To just, be the best version of myself, not necessarily to compete, but yeah.
So then your environment that you grew up in must have been very forward thinking then, because yes, you're in Peckham, but you're not really in Peckham.
Yeah.
Like you're literally, it's almost like you come into your home and you're in a completely different world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you go to what college?
And then so because we moved house from Peckham, we moved to Banstead, which is a completely different area to Peckham. And I remember when my parents said we were moving to Banstead, I was like, no, how can we move to the countryside? I think it was like 2 charity shops and that's it, and an M&S. And so, we moved to Banstead, and I thought actually I wanted to go to a day school. So I applied to a local grammar school, and I got in. They predicted me 10 A stars actually, and I was thinking, that's the first time I'd seen my predictions because I was applying for schools.
Right.
Thinking, me, 10 A stars. And when I went to the interview for None Such High School, I remember the interviewer said, you'd be a candidate that we would put forward for like Cambridge if you came here. And I was like, really? Am I that? I never really...
Hold on, they said, wait.
Yeah.
We need to set that right back. You went for an interview.
Yeah, for sixth form. And then she said, you'd be the type of person that we would like support to go to Oxbridge. And I really was like, really? I just want to go to where my sister went, kind of. But I didn't really think, that wasn't something that I'd always wanted to go to, or I thought that was achievable for me.
Why?
And I think that was just because I'd never known anyone to go there. I'd never been there. It was just not, my parents didn't go to university. So my siblings are the first generation to go to university. So it wasn't somewhere that I just thought I could go to. And I was number 4. My older siblings I think a couple of them had applied, they didn't get in. So I didn't really think it was just an option.
It was attainable.
Yeah.
Considering you had 10 A stars.
So I was predicted I hadn't got them yet. When I got to the interview, I was predicted. And considering, I still just didn't, think that was my path.
Excelente.